This conference will now be
workflow.
recorded.
Hello. Hi all, welcome to the next session on SAP workflow. In the last class, we have discussed what exactly the workflow. So tell me what exactly the workflow, guys. SAP workflow. Tell me what exactly the SAP workflow. So SAP workflow ensures right work being sent to the right person within the right time, within the right sequence, guys. So that's the workflow, and it's a business process automation tool, guys. In the SAP, we are going to automate the business process by using this tool, and it's a cross application tool. And if you want to learn the workflow, definitely you should be having SAP ABAP is the prerequisite, and object oriented ABAP, and also some little knowledge on the basis, and also some of the business process like SDMM and HR, not HT, guys, it's an HR module, and also FICO. This is if you know this business process, it's easy to implement. Okay, without knowing business process, you cannot implement the SAP workflows. Okay, so then, so in the this is my architecture. So workflow architecture, and this is the workflow architecture. SAP workflow architecture. Okay, so in the workflow architecture, we have four kind of layers. One is the ABAP programs layer, and second one is the business object or class layer, and the process layer, the workflow layer, and organization management layer, guys. So how the workflows will be started is, so we have an ABAP programs. Suppose whenever the transaction is created, so we are going to trigger the events. Events is in a status of an object. Transaction is in a one object. Sales order is in a transaction. The object total sales order is in a one object. So the object functionality will be defined in the business object. And whenever you raise the event by using the business object, it will raise an event. And that event will trigger the workflow. Whatever the workflow we assign to this event, the workflow will be triggered. And the workflow, there is in a process. It's in a combination of the steps. Workflow is, and the steps will be executed. So the workflow insists the right work being sent to the right person within the right time within the right sequence. So everything will be done in the processing layer, process level, and workflow level. And if there is a user interaction is required, if the manager approval is required, we use the organizational management to do the user decision task, guys. That's a workflow layer. And so the main important, the right work we are going to design by using business object concept. So what is the business object? And business object is an instantiation of the business object type. And business objects are created in the BAPI repository. And BAPI is business object repository, guys. Sorry, it's a business object repository, not BAPI repository. Business object business object repository. So that's the SW. What is the transaction? SW01. So this is my business object, guys. And also it provides the integration between the ABAP programs to the workflows. See, here it provides the integration between ABAP programs to the workflows. That's a business object type. And so since it is in a business object is referenced with a business object type. And the business object contains the interface, key fields, and attributes, and methods and events, guys. And every method will have events and methods, both will have the interfacing parameters. Same object oriented approach. Business objects are designed with the object oriented above, guys. So business objects types are defined with object oriented approach. Okay, so business objects are defined with the object oriented approach, guys. So this is my object orientation. And so if you want to write some code in the business objects, so business object contains key fields, attributes, methods, and events and interfacing. And if you want to write some code in the business object, you should know the macros, guys. So the macros provides macros are part of the object oriented reusable objects. Macros are the object oriented reusable object, guys. So in the modularization we have seen macros are the reusable object, right? That time I told we will discuss the macros in the workflow concept. So this is the macros, guys. And to define macro, so macro definition syntax, macros definition. How do you define the macros? So here you need to put define. Okay, define or definition. Define, and it's my macro name and definition. Maybe definition, guys, not define. Definition. We'll see, no problem. Definition and definition and your macro name. Okay, so this is my definition and end definition and macro name, guys. And also save. And this is my definition. And how do you call your definition is just you mention the macro name and your values, parameter values. It's my parameter one, and suppose I have two parameters. I have parameter two. This is my parameter two. This is my parameter two. And if you want to use these parameters here, guys, how do you read these parameters in the macros? So this is my first parameter. This is my second parameter. If I want to read this, maybe what I can do is maybe this is my number one. Let's take an example, parameter one. So I have another parameter. Maybe I have a parameter three. Parameter three. Okay, I will use the parameter one, parameter two, parameter three. So what I would like to do, maybe I need to do in a sum, guys. My example is sum. So parameter three equal to, see what I am doing? Just parameter one and plus parameter two, guys. Did you get my point? So if I want to do like this, so what I need to do is, so just don't use the values like this. Ampersand 3 equal to the ampersand 1 plus ampersand 2. So that's it, guys. What it will do is, so it will take the parameter 3 value and it will take the parameter 1 value and parameter 2 value, and it will add the parameter 1 and parameter 2. It will store in the parameter 3. Automatically that value will be placed in the parameter 3, guys. This is the macro calling. This is the macro. This is my macro definition. This is my macro calling, guys. So maybe first we'll start the macros with arithmetic operations. Then we will understand exactly what it is. Then we'll take, maybe we'll use in our workflows how we are going to use the workflows in the real time. So this is my macro definition and macro calling, guys. Control C. And so somewhere we did in a macros. So because when you see the notes, you will get all the things in a single page. I think it's enhancement. So just this is a interview purpose. It's very, very good, guys. Just see this, you are going to get a lot of things over there. BDC, module pool, dialogue, screen time programming. Yeah, perfect. So see, macros we'll use in the workflows. Okay, this is the one. So macros are part of the object oriented reusable object and syntax control. Sorry, control jet. Wasim Akram. Control X. Wasim is there. Yeah, his name is I think Wasim. Oh, yeah, that's it. So this is my macros, and maybe I will go to the system and maybe we'll implement another program by using macros. Guys. So go to the SE38 and GEDG6 underscore macro and create the program and demo for macro and executable program save it in the 6 and okay, yeah, maybe it's part of the 6 batch only, the workflow and transport for the workflows. Did I create any transport for the work? Yeah, transport for the workflows. Okay, yeah. So same thing we are going to do it. Maybe what I am going to do first, I will define the macro guys first. So I will call the macro first. Required things, use the required things. Maybe I will use any parameters. I am going to take two parameters. See, so my parameters are parameters. I will take num1 and num2. P underscore num1 type integer, and first concept I always use the arithmetics and num2 because it gives the foundation. This and maybe I have in a data objects and maybe result type integer. Okay, and just what I am going to do is I am going to do an arithmetical operation, arithmetic underscore sum. This is my macro. In arithmetics I am going to do the addition. Sum means addition, so addition is my macro guys. Addition, so use p underscore num1 and p underscore num2 and take the value into the result. Take the value into the result guys. So that's my macro. So if you want to do any macro like this, maybe I need to use definition, define or definition, no, define only. Perfect. Define my macro. Define my macro, not definition, and then end definition. Huh? Define this and define end of definition. Huh? I think end define end define. No, don't tell you end definition and define. End of definition. See, define and end of definition. Okay, maybe we'll use this is define. Okay, and end define and end of definition. And in this macro, what I am going to do? So my ampersand 3 equal to the ampersand 1 plus ampersand 2. Ampersand 2. So that's it, guys. So this is my first variable. This is my second variable. This is my third variable. I want a third variable as a result 3, and take this value and take this value and do the addition, guys. So that's it. Pretty printer, do the syntax check. No syntax errors. Maybe I'm going to define one more things. Maybe my another macro is write macro, guys. Use the write macro, write output. Okay, don't use the keyword name. Write output. My result is, so I am going to have result. Print the result. So if you want to print the result, I need to have one more. I am defining one more macro. See, guys. So just in this, I am going to write statement. Write my ampersand. What is the ampersand now? Tell me. Tell me. This is my macro name. What is this? Ampersand one. Perfect. That's it. Did you got here? It's my first parameter. I need to print the first parameter as a macro, guys. Pretty printer and do the syntax check. And yeah, so the definition, it should be a end of arithmetic addition. Maybe I wrong, guys. This is okay. Right underscore output. Okay, do the syntax check. Yes, no syntax errors found. Activate. Okay, now put the breakpoint here and execute. So number one, okay, 2 plus 3 I am going to do. My input values are 2 and 3. And see, guys, so it comes to the arithmetic operation. P num1, num2, result is the space. Okay, P num1 2, P num1 3. And whenever I call that macro, it goes to the macros and F5 and F5, guys. So it's not going actually. So, but I will get a result. See, I am printing in a F5. So macros, the disadvantage of the macro is, so you cannot debug it, guys. You cannot debug it. See, I put in a breakpoint here, execute 2 and 3, execute, and see, I did an F5. Whenever, if it is in a subroutine, it will go inside the subroutine. But if it is in a macro, it's not going, it's executing it. That's it. It's executing it. I would like to go inside the macro. It's not possible. It's not possible. And F8. It executing, but it's not going. Maybe I will keep inside the breakpoint. What will happen? We'll see, guys. See, session breakpoint was set, and maybe I will put here. So breakpoint was deleted. Okay, set. Maybe I'm going to set here. Okay. What happened? Huh? What happened? So maybe I will set here. Session breakpoint was set. Maybe I will come to here, put a breakpoint. See, breakpoint was deleted. It's not allowing me. That's the one of the program. Okay, debugging is not possible. That's the disadvantage. This debugging is not possible with macros. So that's the disadvantage of the macro. Okay, so that's the macros case. Maybe now I'm going to take you to the, just you understand, right? What is the parameter here and what is the parameter and how they are going to use the parameters. Now I'm going to take you to the uh, business object programming, guys. That's a simple and SWO1. And yesterday we have created business object and create the change the business object. And the business object contains the interface and key fields, attributes and methods and events. And yesterday we have defined the key fields and also we have defined the two attributes. And maybe, so what we did is, so if you want to use this business object, you need to set the status, set, change, and object type component. Already yesterday I have implemented. And so once you implement the object type components, and you need to implement the object type, guys, to implement it. So object type could not be uh, generated generate it, and contains one error, guys. So here generate means activate, nothing but it's an activate. So when I try to activate the business object, it is giving me one error. So what is the error? If you want to see the errors, so you need to go to the edit. There is an error list, guys. Go to, yeah, error list. So here you need to see the error list and see table vback not yet implemented. So that's the problem. So you need to set the implementation, uh, how to implement this, and maybe VBLN edit change this object type component to the implemented function change set is not supported. So selected object VBLN. So how to implement this, and how to implement this? First, I need to implemented status, and maybe, and whenever I generate, it gives me the error. If I want to avoid, maybe select this and select the program, guys. So that's it. So save and come back and do the check and see table VBAC not yet implemented. Do you want to generate a template automatically for the missing section? Yes. So this is the implementation. The code will be generated by SAP, guys. And save it and come back. Now you can generate the object. See, guys, modeled object types cannot be generated, and I need to set the status to the object type to the implemented. First object type component, then object. See, guys, object type status set to the implemented. So after you implement and generate the business object, and object type is generated successfully, guys. Maybe I will explain many times this. Okay, first I am showing what exactly the business object. And so next is, so I would like to test this business object. And see, guys, whenever you test, it is asking for the instantiation. See, the classes also, if you want to if you want to create an object in the constructor, you need to pass in a value, the key value. The same here, if you want to instantiate your business object, you need to send in a key value, guys. Our sales order is 4979, and okay. And see, guys, it's an order. TA means OR order, and 497 is order, and 1000 is the distribution channel, guys. So this is the class. So it is instantiated. It brings the values from the table VBAC. It gives me the value. So maybe let us implement now more things. And just I have given a example. And guys, so this is my attribute AUART and VKORG. Maybe I am going to create more attributes, and go and create the attribute, and no. And my next one is VTW easy, and it's my VTW easy. It's my distribution channel. And guys, here you can see there are two types of attributes, guys. One is a virtual attribute, another one is the database attribute. So there are different type of attributes we have. So I will go to now here the attributes. It's a property of the objects, and we have two types of attributes in BO. BO means business object. I'm putting a shortcut, and one is the database attribute, and second one is the virtual attribute. Okay, two types of attributes we have. One is the database, and another one is the virtual. So what exactly the database attributes? If the property of the object belong to, if the property of the object if the property of the object belong to the table of the key attribute, we use database attribute. See what is the meaning here. If the property of the object belong to the table of the key attribute, we are going to use a database attribute, guys. Save and save here. If you see here, my attribute is, let's example VTWG. Okay, so VTWEG is in a distribution channel. Which table it is available? VBAC table and VTWEG. If this attribute is part of the key field table, so what is my key field table? Double click on it. This is my VBELN. What is the key field table? VBAC. So if the property belong to the same table, if the property belong to the key field table, then we are going to create a attribute as a database attribute, guys. And no need to write the code. To get the value for this, don't write any code. Automatically SAP generate a code for you. So this is my attribute. And also you can set, suppose if you want to have a multi-line like internal table kind of property, we use the multi-line as a checkbox, guys. But it's not a multi-line. For single sales order, I can have single distribution channel. Why? Because VBAC I can have only one record for a sales order number. So that's why it's not a multi-line. So that's why I am going to use okay. Part of the same database table. That's why I don't use the virtual attribute. I use the database attribute, guys. And maybe I will create one more attribute and create the attribute. No, and my attribute is NETWR, and this is my NETWR, and this is my order total value, and it should be the database field. And my reference, my field is VBAC and NETWR and okay. So this is my one more field. Maybe I will create one more field. No, and I have a WAERK and WAERK, and it's an order currency, and it's in a database field, and it's a VBAC and WAERK. So this is the same part of the field, same part of the table. That's why it should be in a database attribute, guys. This is a database attribute. So maybe I have one more field and clear the uh, field and yes or no, and I have a customer number. Customer is also a part of the VBAC table, and use the customer number. This is my, maybe I can put sold to party. This is my sold to party. Customer is sold to party. Both are same, and it should be the VBAC hyphen. Next one is the KUNNR, guys. So I have these many attributes, guys, and save. And if you want to use these attributes, now guys, always the first status is the modeled status. Now if you see this is in a modeled status. There are different kind of status for every object. So we have object type and we have object type component, guys. What exactly the difference between object type and object type component? And if you go and see our architecture, so this is a business object is the object type, and the object type components are interface is in a one component, key fields is in a one component, attributes are the components, methods are the components, and events are the components. So if you want to set the status for your business object, first you need to set the status to the object type components. Then you set the status to the object type, guys. That's the important task. So first you need to set the status to the object type components. Then you need to set the status to the object type. So see here. So these are all the object types or object type components, object type components. So select the field and go to edit and change release status to the four statuses, guys. For every object we have four status. Whenever you create it, by default it's in a modeled status. Whenever you implement it, so maybe I can talk about the status of the objects and go to the new slide and insert object type component status. We have first one is modeled and second one is implemented and third one is released and fourth one is observe lead, guys. So modeled, by default, whenever whenever we create the object, it's modeled status. By default it's in a modeled status, guys. By default, whenever you create it, by default it's in a modeled status. So no error. Set 3, I think. Maybe it's 2 or 3. 3 only. Okay. Yeah. So it's an a, by default whenever we create the object, it's an a modeled status, guys. That's a name. First status. Here no need to do nothing. But if it is in a modeled status, if the object in modeled status, we cannot use them in the workflows. So if the status is modeled status, we cannot use them in the workflows, guys. If you want to use, it should be in a implemented status. It should be implemented status. So that's why we are going to implement the objects, guys. Control implemented status. So this with this status, object should be implemented. Object should be implemented. Then only we can set the status to implemented. That means there is a method. So if you want to set the release status, if you want to set the status to the implemented, the method should be implemented. Otherwise, you cannot set that object as an implemented status, guys. And if it is an implemented status, we can use this object. We can use this object in the workflows. Then only we can use the object in the workflows, guys. That's a name. Modeled and implemented. You know, right? Released. Released means, so then only we can transport. We can transport the objects to the next level. SAP landscape. That's a name. A released status. And absolute means old functionality doesn't work, and maybe there is a replacement for existing functionality. There is a replacement to the existing functionality, guys. In BAPIS you have seen, guys. So in the status, so it's an absolute status. One function model is absolute, but they have given a alternative as a two functionality as an alternative, guys. So the exactly the status of the absolute means, so old functionality doesn't work, and maybe there is a replacement to the there is a replacement to the existing functionality, guys. That's a different status we have. And first you need to set object type component status. first set the object type component status. Then set the object type status. Object type status, guys. So this is the different statuses. How do you set and all? So this will give some clarity now. So then we need to set the object type status, guys. Save and come here. And first, this is my object type component. You need to go to the edit, change release status, and first you need to go to the object type component, and all by default it's in a model status. If you want to use this attribute in the workflows, it should be in a implemented status, guys. See, select and go and implemented status, and edit and go, it should be in a implemented status, and go edit, and whenever it is implemented, this symbol is gone, and see now it is an implemented state. That's it. Save it. Save it, guys. So now I have a different attribute of the sales order, and save it, and save it. Next, generate it, and the object is generated successfully. If you want to test the business object directly, we can test in the SW01 and 4979, and you see the data now. So this is my order number, this is my VKORG, this is my VTWG, this is my currency, this is my uh, currency value, this is my customer, guys. Now I know the customer, but I want to get the customer address details, guys. I want customer name, I want customer telephone number, I want customer mobile. So I need to get those values, but where do you get those values, guys? But where do you get that kind of values? And is the customer name is available in VBAC table? Is the customer telephone number is available in VBAC table? No. So what is the database table? KNA1. So is the key field VBLN is part of the KNA1? Is the key VBLN is part of the KNA1? No, guys. So if you want to fetch the data from other database table, then we need to use the virtual attribute, guys. That's the two types of attributes. And see, I'm going to create an attribute. My attribute is the name one. So customer name one. So name one, and which is the attribute, and part of this attribute is part of, it's a customer name. It's a part of another table. That's why you need to select virtual attribute and select the table KNA1, and it's a name one, guys. That's it. That's it, guys. This is my uh, name one attribute. Like this, I create another attributes as well. So create, and maybe we'll use very little fields. No, and maybe land one is the country, customer country, and LAND land one, it's in a customer country, and it's a virtual attribute, and it's a KNA1, and it's in a land one, and okay, and maybe we'll create one more attribute. So place the cursor attribute and create the attribute, and no, and it's my TELF1 telephone one. So TELF1 and KNA1, and it's on a TELF1. So that's the field. Okay, please then maintain the text. It's on a customer. Maybe I can say it's a mobile number. Mobile number. Okay, this is my text. And okay, guys. So we have three fields. Okay, we have three fields which are part of the my virtual attribute, guys. So, but if it is in a virtual attribute, you need to write the code, guys. For the these are all the normal database attributes, so the implementation is not required since this is part of the key field table. So my key field table is the VBAC, right? So whenever I use a key field, automatically it builds in a select query. SAP builds in a select query, it will fetch the data, all the data from the table. So when you use in a database attribute, since that attribute is in a part of this table, so the implementation is not required. But when it is a database attribute which is part of the other table, then the implementation is must, guys. If you want to implement that, place the database attribute field and click on the program. It will ask for the implementation. See, attribute name one not yet implemented. So do you want to generate a template automatically for the missing section? So always yes, guys. So yes, see guys, this is using the macros. So whenever you implement it, so here this is my macro, guys. This is my macro, and the container, the name one is the field, and the value is the object name one, guys. So this is the macro. So where do you see these macros? So maybe just now we talked about the macros. So SE38 and change. So this is the macro implementation. See, so this is my macro definition. My macro name, I'm calling the macro, addition is my macro, and we have the uh, parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3. So my definition is define my macro definition, and first parameter I am using ampersand 1. So it's in a dynamic variables, and the second parameter dynamic ampersand 2. So it will take the values now, number 1 and number 2, and my calculation is addition. My I am setting the value to the third parameter. So maybe 2 plus 3, 5. So the 5 value will be dynamically assigned to the result parameter, guys. In the same way, in the workflow uses the macros. See, so this is my macro name, SWC set element. Okay, this is my parameter. Container is one parameter. So what is the container? Name one is the container name, and the value is the object name one, guys. So if you want to set these values, maybe I need to first fetch the data from database and select, okay, KUNNR and name one, land one. Okay, first I need to select TELF1 from KNA1 into, maybe for one customer I can get one record. So that's why I use select single, guys. Select single from this into this, and I will use the inline declarations at the rate data and my ls underscore kna1. This is my work area, guys, and where my KUNNR equal to the object. Object contains the KUNNR, guys. So this contains the KUNNR value. I'm passing that attribute value to the KUNNR. I'm fetching the data from KNA1, and that value I am going to set that value to this attribute, guys. This attribute value equal to ls underscore kna1 hyphen name one, guys. That's it. This is the implementation for the uh, name one attribute, guys. This is my name one attribute, and I'm going to set that value. That value, see, I am setting that value over here, guys. So this will set the value to the container element name one, guys. But how do you see, where do you see these macros, guys? Where do you see these macro definitions then? So if you want to see the macro definitions, SAP gives an include programs, guys. So this include will have all the macros which are required for workflow programming or business object programming, guys. So this is the include, and this include contains all the macros in the business object level. And new slide, and go to the insert. So see, guys, this include object contains all the macros which are required for the workflow programming, and click on the include program. This is include program, guys. Simple. Double click on the include program, and also this include contains two other include programs. So these two include programs, it contains interview question, guys. If you if you know the business object programming, they will ask you this question. So what are the include programs available in the business object programming? So whenever you create a business object, it creates first include program object, and the contains object contains object include contains two other include programs. Two other include programs. The two other is the one is the CNTN01. The another one is the CN OLE2 include. No need to remember, but this is important. CNTN01 contains CNTN01 contains. Okay, what is our program is GEDG. GEDG. Which one? ZREDG. Not this one. Not this one. What is the first one? So I put in a different naming convention. ZREDG sales. ZREDG sales. So I think somewhere it is ZR 1, 2, 3. Yeah, perfect. This is our program. Yeah, guys. See, so there is a name. First definition. First macro is the container macro, guys. We are not using this macro, but you will see all the macros here. And our macro is SWC set element. So that is the macro which we are using to define the attribute. Maybe set element. See create element. See guys, SWC set element. So this is the macro they are using. In this macro, see guys, there are three parameters: ampersand 1, ampersand 2, and ampersand 3. Ampersand 1 is the, maybe I will open in the display SW1. One more session I am going to display. And here you can see the attribute and name one. Go to the program. You see, so there is a 3. This is my macro SWC set element. This is my definition for the macro SWC set element. See, so this is my macro. This is my macro definition. And in this macro, they are calling some function module to achieve this functionality. And they have used ampersand 1, ampersand 2, and ampersand 3. Ampersand 1 is the container. They are passing, they are getting the container value, and the object, the your attribute name is the name one. Your attribute name, the element is the name one, and the element value is the field value is this case. The field is this attribute, the value is this, and they are going to store in the container. It's in a method container, guys. This container we are going to call, it's in a method container. In the method container, they are going to store the memory allocations, guys. In the workflow, there is a different kind of memory allocations. So in the business object level, there is a method container. In the method container, they are storing this object value, guys. That's the foundation of the macros. Now you understand the macros, I hope. And so now I am going here and save and come back like this and implement even other attributes as well. It's a land one, and go to the program and implement the method for the land one. See the same code, maybe in the one code I can set it, but okay, that's not a good. And go to the here, control C, and maybe I don't want until. So take the this control C and control V. Maybe I will set the value here. My value is the land one, and select in a land one. And here also I am going to select in a land one. Okay. Next attribute is the come back, and next attribute is the telephone one. Select program and S, and maybe write the control V, and here my value is the telephone one, TELF1, and here you can see the TELF1, guys. So save and do the pretty printer and come back and see, guys. And after you implement it, you need to set the status object type component to implemented. Yes, guys, it is implemented. Edit and go here and implemented. Yes, it is implemented. And edit, change release status object type component implemented. Yes, it is released. And after then you need to generate your business object contains one errors. And if you want to see the errors, and go to an error list, and field object, yeah, object kunar is unknown. It is neither one of the specified tables not defined by a data statement. So kunar is unknown. Is it? Name one program. So object name one is there. Object kunar should be there. Is that kunar or what is the object type? So come back, and yes, it's in a kunar only. Kunnr. Kunnr. It's in a VBAC kunar. Why it's not giving me the object name? And uh, change, guys, we'll go to the program again. So here there is a definitions, guys. So key is the VBELN, that is fine. See, name one, land one, and guys, here, so whenever I define a database object, it's giving me with the underscore VBAC, guys. So the total fields it's giving me, it's providing an association. So underscore means there is a relation between the key and the database table, and the my association is underscore VBAC. That means the object is object hyphen underscore VBAC, and the underscore VBAC contains the other field names, guys. The VBAC field names. That's what I need to use. Maybe I will use like that. So VBAC. See, guys, there is an a. See, guys, how did they set object under hyphen? My total object is underscore VBAC. So this contains the Kunar field. Control C. See the total VBAC they are assigning to the object hyphen underscore VBAC. So I am going to use this object. Control C, and here I need to use the same thing. So this object, in the object I have a VBAC table. In the VBAC table I have a customer number, guys. This is my database attribute. Customer number is my database attribute, and save it. And now same thing you need to change in all the places. Control C, and here also I need to replace. Control V. Control V, guys, and save it, and do the syntax check. Now we can do the syntax check here itself, and see, guys, so using commas, the elements should be elements in the select. Yeah, so whenever you use the inline declaration, so you must use the commas in the select, guys. That's for the fundamental, so whenever you use inline declarations, maybe you need to use the host variable, escaping with host variable. Which one? Yeah, it, we should not be having the comma here, and at the rate, and also here, comma. Don't use the comma. Last field you should not use. That's it, guys, and save it. So do the things. The data object ls underscore kna1, ls, okay, land1, guys. Okay, do the syntax check again, and object contains no errors. Save and come back, and it's like activate. Here we are going to do in a generate. So generated successfully. If you want to test, go here by sales. You are doing an instantiation, guys. Here object means, so definitely it's an instance object. So execute, you need to instantiate the object. If you want to instantiate the object, you need to have a key. My key is the 4979 is the sales order number. See, guys, so you see the where is that name one? Yeah, Amadeus is the customer, and land one is the DE, and telephone number is the 089243667. So this fields, this property is not part of the key database table. It's the part of the other table. So that's why I call it's a virtual attribute, guys. See, so the virtual attribute is if the property of the simple control C and control V, the property of the object belong to the other table of the key attribute, we use virtual attribute. We use virtual attribute, or the attribute which is determined based on some intensive logic. Even not only select, guys, maybe I need to find out the customer whether it is a new customer or existing customer. So how do you check whether it is a new customer or existing customer? How do you check it, guys, whether it is a new customer or existing customer? Hmm? Just pass the customer value to the KNA1 field. If size of RC equal to 0 is an existing customer. If the size of RC not equal to 0 is a new customer. If you want to find, if you want to have an attribute, what I am doing, I am doing some kind of calculation logic, some data intensive logic I am doing it, some conditional expression logic I am doing it. That kind of cases also you need to use the virtual attribute. That case, that's why I told the attribute which is determined based on some data intensive logic or or expression logic, we use the virtual attribute, guys. Maybe same thing, we do the same thing, guys. Maybe I have an attribute, so I need to have a flag. Create the attribute, and my flag is check underscore customer. Check existing customer, ex. Okay, I will use ex. Check existing customer or existing customer flag, guys. X customer flag. I can say this flag. Okay, maybe my customer flag. See, if it equal to X, it's an existing customer. If it is in a space, it's not a, it's a new customer, guys. That's the logic I'm going to use it. Check existing customer flag. Okay, it should be a virtual attribute, guys. And I'm going to use the, it's in a flag. Maybe I can use directly the char one, guys. So directly I can use like this char one. So that's it. Structure is not defined. Maybe where I can see this kind of things, reference table, char one, maybe SYST, X field I can use char one, X field, char one, X field, char one, X field, SYST. I can see some of the fields for the checking this. And maybe did you see any field which is having flags? Huh? Where is that? Huh? Uh, where, okay, where is my cursor? From the bottom, C page. Maybe this I can use it, guys. So this is my flag. Is it number or it's in a char field? I don't know. Header flag, right? So it should be in a character field. We'll see. We'll see, guys. Maybe this is my customer flag. Maybe I will go to the that's flag because it should not be a number. SE 11, and it's very good structure, guys. SYST. So it will give all the system fields. Maybe Control F. And what is the field? WTITL. WTITL. And guys, it's a char one. Perfect. It's a char one. Okay. And maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement the program for this attribute and s, and I'm going to write in a logic. So I'm going to pass this customer, and is this customer is an existing customer or not? So maybe I can write in a select in the same way, control C and control V. And so if psi hyphen sub rc equal to 0, and it's a name, my flag is this flag I can set as a true, control C and control V. So I can assign a value as an x case. Above underscore true is my things, and else my value equal to the this equal to the above underscore false. False, it's in a space and end if. So if you don't want to add to code, I will use these parameters guys. So for the x, above underscore true, and false, it's in a space is in a above underscore false. So it gives good readability because we are not hard coding the x and space value space. So this is my flag guys. So that's my flag, and go to the edit, change release status to the implemented and generate, and I have generated, and see guys 4979, and you see there is an X guys, it's an existing customer, this customer is an existing customer guys. That's the difference between the virtual attribute and the database attribute. Maybe suppose there is an amount, and I need to have one more flag guys, I need to have a GST, the taxable amount I need to find out. So this is my actual price. My actual price is the NETWR. My actual price is NETWR. I need to apply a GST tax on top of this field. So create the attribute. Since it is in a calculation field, maybe it's my GST tax, GST, and name is the GST, and it should be in a virtual field. See, there is a calculation logic we are going to write, and it should not be a database field. It should be in a virtual attribute. And maybe I can give the reference as VBAC, and NETWR as a reference field I can give it, but my field amount field is my India GST tax amount. India GST tax amount. Okay, and select the attribute and go to the program and s, and maybe my value I need to read the first I need to read the NETWR. So my NETWR is available. So like this I am going to calculate guys. See, so this is my value, GST value, and this value equal to the my object. My object contains object hyphen underscore VBAC. This contains the NETWR into my 18% is the GST and by 100 guys. This is my GST amount for the my product guys, and save and come back and do the component set to the implemented and generate your business object and activate, and okay. Now you see the price is, see guys, 13,000 and 2,000 rupees GST guys, too much. So India is taking a lot of tax from the people. For the 13,000, 2,000 rupees is that GST. It's a very huge amount. So 13% GST is not a simple tax. 18% GST. And for the 13,000 product, you are paying 2,300 rupees to the customer. Sorry, for the government. So which is a very expensive. So this is the GST calculation. Since it is in a calculation field, we are going to use the virtual kind of attribute, not the database attribute, guys. So that's the, so we have seen the key field, you know, right? Key provides a unique identity for your business object. An attribute is a property of a business object, and methods is a function of your business object. So let's discuss about the methods. In 5 minutes, we will create a method. Then we are going to use this in the workflows case. This is the business object, custom business object we are creating. And also we'll see the standard business objects, and also we will extend the standard business object. Then I will take you to the workflow programming guys. Maybe just give me 10 minutes break, then we are going to continue the business object methods. So I'll keep the recording in pause, and we are going to start.
This conference will now be recorded.
So before continue to the method, maybe we will more understand about the macros. And I have created a macro by using simple arithmetic operation. Now I would like to use the real data with the macros parameters. My p underscore vbeln vbeln. It's my type of vbeln. It's my sales order report, guys. And also I'm going to define one macro. Maybe my macro is get, okay, header, sales order header is my macro, and end of definition. This is my definition. Maybe I will use the definition later, and I'm going to call the definition and get underscore header, and my parameter is p underscore vbln. This I am importing the value to the macro, and also I am going to get the value and gs underscore vback. So I can have one order, one value. So since this is in a work area, guys, and maybe I need to have a data object and data and gs underscore vback and its type of vback. So this is my data. Maybe after getting this value, I need to print this value and output the value, output and gs underscore vback, and define the definition for the end of maybe definition. I need to first I need to get the values here. And if I want to get the values, see guys, this is a second parameter, right? And select single star from VBAC table into ampersand 2, guys. What is the ampersand 2 here? GS underscore VBAC, and where my VBELN equal to the ampersand 1, guys. That's it. This is my implementation. And so next implementation is I'm going to implement an output macro, and I'm going to use this parameter. I'm going to output it, and control C and control V, and this is my macro, and it's my output. Output is my macro, and here I'm going to write print the output is write function, and gs underscore vback hyphen vbeln, and oh sorry, I need to use maybe this is little I'm not sure whether it will work or not. Ampersand 1 hyphen vbeln and ampersand 1 hyphen auart. That's it. We'll see two things. That's it. Pretty printer, and do the syntax check and get header, yeah, and output, output, yeah, that's it. Do the syntax. No syntax errors, case. Definitely it should work. And see this. Maybe I will apply the color. Maybe we'll give the beautiness to the output format, color, and 3 or 5. 5 is the green, and format color off. That's it, guys. And execute and give the sales order number 4969 output. See guys, I have an output with the real data. So this is the use of the macros. So the definition and end of definition and calling and the variables ampersand, the dynamic pointers ampersand 1 and ampersand 2, guys. Okay, that's in a macro. Calling the macro, see, we have to use the name, we have to use the attributes. So let's go to the business object programming now, guys. And we have seen the key field. Key is a name, unique identity for your application or business object, and attribute is a property of your business object, and method is a function of your business object. It's a function of the object. So what kind of methods we can see? Maybe get items is my one function. Get the sales order items and get the partners and get the business data and also maybe uh, check customer. This is my function. And next one is and uh, change sales order, change order and display order and create delivery based on sales order and create. So total process guys, invoice. And so this is my things guys, this is my functions in the sales object. I can do this kind of functions. You can get the items, you can get the partners, maybe I can get the managers as well, get manager. So this is also one of my function guys. For the sales orders, if you want to approve the sales order, I need to have a name, manager, sales manager or invoice manager. So that kind of things also I can do with this method. It's in a function of the object. So we are going to see the functions, what kind of functions we have maybe. And so maybe I will go to the more about the methods. We have a lot of functionality in the methods. And methods, there are two types of methods. One is the synchronous, synchronous method, and another one is the asynchronous method, and also foreground method, and also background method. See, so we have different kind of methods, guys. So one is the synchronous method, another one is the asynchronous method. One is the foreground method, and another one is the background method. So here I am giving one example, one method. Display sales order. Is it in a foreground or background method? Display sales order. Is it in a foreground or background? It's not a background. You are displaying the transaction. You are displaying the transaction. If it is in a background, can you see the data? Can you see the data? No, it's not a background method. It's in a foreground method. It's in a dialog method. Next, my question is create, create invoice based on the delivery. Create the invoice based on the delivery. So who will execute that? Are you going to execute it? Our background system is going to execute it. System is going to execute, guys. So there are two types of activities, the functions we can do. One is the foreground, which will be done in the, suppose there is a manager, you need to take action, approve and reject. Is it in a foreground or background? Is system executes or is the person executes? Who executes? Person executes. Person execute means it should be in a foreground method. If the system executes, it's in a background method, guys. That's the two types of method, foreground and background method. Very, very important. Next one, synchronous and asynchronous methods. Let's take an example of method. My method is create invoice. Create invoice. Whenever you create the invoice, do you require the result? Do you require the results or not? What is the result? Huh? Invoice number is the result. So that means when I execute my function, I should get a result, right? My result is the invoice number. So if you want to have results, the results will be given by the synchronous method, guys. So synchronous methods will have resulting parameters. Resulting parameters, guys. So that's an asynchronous method. It provides the results. Okay. So if you want to get a result, so that time you need to use a synchronous type of method. Suppose if you don't want the results, then we need to have so this will not, asynchronous will not have resulting parameters. Asynchronous methods will not have resulting parameters. Foreground methods will execute in dialog session, and background methods will execute in background session. You know, right? Work process, background work process, dialog work process. Exactly here the concept. And and this method will, this kind of methods will be executed by user. In workflow we call this as an agent or approver. So definitely, if it is in a foreground method, we need to assign the agents. Who is the person? Who is the responsible person? Who is going to execute this method? The concept we are going to call it an agent, and approver or user, guys. But this method will be executed by this kind of methods executed by system. System will execute for you, guys. It's a robo, so it will execute for you. Okay, system will execute. The system is user is the wf batch is the user id. So by default this is an user who will execute in the background. It's an invisible mode. You will not see that. A task will be performed, the method will be completed. The completed by the username is the wf batch user id. That's an a system user id, guys. So this is the methods now, and you know, right, this will have the interfacing parameters as well. So if it is in a synchronous, suppose if you want to have any results, I'm going to use the synchronous type of method, and the method should be in a background method, guys. Always I use the background method to get the results, and if I don't want to get the results, I will use a foreground method if the user want to execute that. And maybe I will go to here, and I am going to place the cursor and create a method. And do you want to create with a function model? No, I don't want to create with a function model. If you want to create with a function model, you need to use the BAPI case. So BAPI will use these methods, and I don't use this. No, I don't want to use any this. Maybe my method first. My method is, and I will go to the here. My method is get items is my one of the method ways. Get underscore items, and the name also use the same, get items, and the description, get meaningful description, get sales order items. Okay, spelling don't bother. See, guys, there are different kind of methods: dialog method and synchronous method. Simple. If you deselect it, it becomes a background method. If you select it, it becomes a foreground method. If you deselect it, it becomes a background method and foreground method. Foreground or dialog method, guys. Okay, maybe the terms are same. And so I don't want to get items. So do you need any action to get the sales order items? No, not required. So that's why I use it's in a background method. And when I get the items, definitely I should get a result. If I so I have selected dialog and synchronous type of method. We'll see these two options later. And okay, and this is my method. So when it is in a function, definitely there should be any parameters, interfacing parameters. See, guys, select the method and provide the interfacing parameters and exceptions and parameters, and my parameter name, and create the parameter. And no, don't select my parameter im underscore. My importing parameter is the VBELN. Sales order number is my interfacing parameter, and same class only, guys. This is little different. It's a sales order number. And see, now you can see import and export. And if you select this multi-line, it becomes an internal table and mandatory. Definitely you should pass the parameter. See, optional and mandatory in the methods. And it's an importing, and the field is VBAC. Sorry, maybe I can use VBAP. You can use, no problem. It's a reference only. VBE LN. That's it. Okay. And this is my importing. Maybe I need to have an exporting parameter and create and no. And it's my items case. Exporting parameters underscore items. And this is my exporting parameter items and export sales order items. And it should be an exporting parameter. Guys, for one order, I can have multiple orders. Then it should be in a multi-line. And the reference table is, what is the reference table? It should be in a table type. My table type for the, since it's an internal table type, I need to assign the table type. My table type is the GTT VBAP, guys. This is the data dictionary element which we have already have. And okay, and cannot be used for the methods. Data type GTT VBAP. See, I want multiple fields. I want multiple fields. Why I should not use this? So my export item should be an internal table. So what is the SC11 and the data type is the, maybe I think this is there, GTT VBAP and display. Yes, it's in a table type. I can use the table type. I can use that table type here. I can use this. Why it's not allowing me? Maybe I need to assign the structure. Maybe I will take the structure already. It's maybe VBAP. Okay, maybe okay. Yes, it's taking, guys. Maybe already we are doing in a year multi-line, right? Automatically it creates like an internal table. By taking these fields, it creates like an internal table, guys. And okay, and save. And maybe if you want to raise any exceptions, maybe I can raise the exceptions. If the data not available, I'm going to create an exception. My exception is use some exception number 009, maybe 9000. Maybe I will use some numbers for to raise the exceptions. And it's a temporary error, application error, system error. It's a temporary error and application area. So maybe I will use the message class. I'm going to use that message class over here, guys. And maybe what is the transaction for the message class? C91, and it's my SD workflow message class, and create the message class and go to the messages and save it in the workflows. And maybe sales item does not exist. This is my message, and save it and come back and and take this message class, and message is the 000, guys. That's it. So this is my exception 9. Remember, the is not valid. So raise the exceptions. So first create the exception. Yes, temporary error and message class 000 and okay, and method get items is not in a valid, and come back, save, and select this and clear the exceptions. Clear the exceptions and clear the exception, and maybe parameters. uh, it should not be exception. Yeah, maybe I need to select the type of exception is different and create, and it's a 90. Maybe the numbers, I think the number I am having some doubt. Maybe this is my application error 000 and okay. Exception 900. Oh, message, there is no activation for the message class. So it's only save you can. Mm, Maybe I doubt on this number, guys. Maybe mm, I doubt on this number. Yeah. So maybe yeah, maybe I will take 900 Okay. Mm. So exception number. Uh, is the series is I think 999. Maybe I will use. Yeah, guys, it's in a numbering problem. So it's accepting 99999. So 9000 reserved for the SAP, it seems. So 9000 not accepted. Triple four nines it is accepted. So save it and okay. And this is my exception, guys. And now I have defined the parameters, import and export parameters and exceptions. Now maybe I need to implement the program. If I want to implement the program, go to the program and yes, guys, not yet implemented. Do you want to implement? Yes, I'm going to implement. Guys, it is generated the data and it uses the macros. Now you can see guys, here the macro get element container. So what it is doing, importing means we pass the values, right? Whenever we pass the values to this method, you need to take the value. Normally in function modules and methods, automatically you can use im underscore vbln. But in the business object programming, we will use macros to get those values, guys. So this macro will be used. This will read the value from the importing parameter. The value will be stored in the im underscore vbln. So I will use that value, select star from web into table my ex underscore items. This is my exporting parameters. This is my exporting parameters and where VBELN equal to the IM underscore VBELN. That's it. So we'll take the importing parameter. I will select the data from the table, and after selecting the data, we are going to export the values to the exporting parameter by using these macros. Get is used to read the data and set is used to set the data to your parameters, case. That's the name macros, get macros and set macros. They may ask this kind of questions. So here get element, even also there are two types of things, guys: single read and internal table macros. So variable macros and internal table macros, two types of macros we see. And the so two types of macros. One is the set macros. So swc underscore set underscore element. Okay, it's for the single record read. A single record set is not read. If you want to set the single record, we use this value swc underscore get underscore element element. It's in a single record get swc underscore set underscore table. So it's in a multiple record set and swc underscore get underscore table. It's an a multi records. It's an a read, guys. So this is the four very important. We now regularly use these four kind of macros. Even entry also they will ask the question: what is the set and get macros? What is the single record? What is the multiple record, guys. Same way here also. If you see the method, so see guys, VBELN is in a single record. See, if you want to get the record, single record, they have used SWC underscore get underscore element. And these are three parameters. Container is one parameter and importing parameter is one parameter. This is my value. The reading value, the value will be available in this parameter. I will take this value. I'm fetching the data from the database and I am storing the data in the ex underscore items. So this macro set parameter will set the values to the your exporting parameters, and this is the value which is set for your exporting parameter. And if the data does not exist, what you will do? So if hyphen hyphen sub rc equal to the not equal to the 0 and if and raise raise a raise and my number is 999. I think exception raise exception uh, 9999 guys. Maybe this would be the no. I think control space exception control space. I think raise automatically message will be raised, and maybe I need to use like that maybe. So maybe MESSCAG message my GSD workflow and uh, so like this no yes E triple zero some way we have defined message E triple zero message class. How do you define? I forgot this. Huh? Perfect. E triple zero in the bracket. I need to use the message class like this and rising exception and rising exception. What is the exception? 999 guys. This is my syntax. So save it and pretty printer. Maybe I should no need to write this also. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, because already for this exception, I have defined the message class. Maybe I should not raise this. We'll see. So this is my method, guys. So this is my method. I have used importing and exporting things and pretty printer and do the syntax check. No syntax errors. Yeah, does not contain any errors. And come back and my method. First, if you want to use this method, you need to do any implemented status and generate the object. My object is generated and create the see guys 4979 and okay. And see guys, I have a method get items, and if I want to get the items and I get all the attributes, and if you want to get the items and go to here get items, maybe my items for the 4969 is my sales order number and enter. See guys, I have one entry, one item. See my item material and everything I am getting over here. Maybe I will use 49. Give me another order, some order, and we have created some orders guys. I think 14 double 54. I think this is the one of the order and one item, and I think I have one more order 155. See, I created some order with multiple entries guys. Maybe 49 mm, 4967 and execute. Sales items does not exist guys. See there is an exception, and I should not get the exception like this case. I should get exception on the screen itself. So I'm raising in a wrong exception type and go to the program, and so don't use like this. Maybe that's it. Rise triple nine. Yeah, save. Pretty printer. Do the syntax check. Yeah, rise the exception number. That's it. And come back and activate and So whenever you raise that exception, the assigned message class should be triggered. So that's the intention. No need to raise the messages. And 4979 and get items, execute the items, maybe 4967 and execute short dump exception condition 4999 triggered. Okay. Mm, it should not go to the dump. Actually, we need to catch it. I think it seems we are rising here, but where we will catch it in the program, we will catch it. But here we are directly testing on the here itself. The catching is not possible. Change the business object and methods and go to the exceptions. And it's an a the exception type is application error. Maybe I will use temporary error and okay and save, come back and generate and execute. Okay, and get items 4967 and execute. Dump. It's not depends on the error type. So we need to handle the exceptions, guys. Actually, we need to handle the exceptions. Rising, maybe SWO1, I can do some additions maybe to avoid the dump. To avoid the dump, we need to use some additional programming. Rise F F1 rise exception. It's a rise event. Okay, that's different thing. Um, hmm? Okay, maybe. Yeah. It's a class-based exception. This rise exception is class-based exception. Maybe rise underscore x rise. hmm, If you rise this, it's going for the dump. Maybe how can we? No, we need to rise message then. Rise maybe message class. Not no need to rise. Maybe with no. So that's error message. I need to get that message. Uh, okay. So how to raise the messages? Wait, guys. I will go to the standard. Okay, standard is the because standard provides easy methods. Maybe BUS 20122032. It's in a standard sales order BAPI display and go to the Methods, I think some of the method get create, either create or change, uh, create with the data 2, and maybe exceptions, no exceptions, and where data exceptions, no exceptions, and get status exceptions, no exceptions. Somewhere I have seen the exceptions, no exceptions, get list exceptions, no exceptions, create change exceptions, no exceptions. Shit, they didn't handle exceptions. Exceptions. Okay, I will use CFC underscore PAY payment lot display methods. Oh, exceptions. Yes, guys. So this my does not exist. Exception number one, application error, and this we maintain the okay. And how did they raise exceptions? And go to the program and okay, even they didn't handle it. They didn't handle it. Somewhere I have seen these exceptions. Just W F4. So here also we are going to use how to find out the business partners, business object, and okay, and no objects, no objects, business partner, US, okay, okay. So in this we have the business objects, and okay, message class assigned, and this is assigned, and maybe we'll use this create and go to the program and see, guys. So where is the, I think exit underscore return, and okay, they have used parameters. Yeah, this is fine. Exit underscore return, the number we need to use, the exception number. That's it. Exit underscore return is the statement, guys. So if you use that statement, maybe we can get it. So exit exit underscore return. The number is 999. That's it. So we do not have any parameters, and maybe save ready printer and do the syntax check and exit underscore return. Okay, macro without two actual parameters, maybe space space. This is a macro to raise the exceptions, guys. That's what the SAP. tells exit underscore return will used, the macro is used. So maybe where do you check this macro? So maybe I have where you will check that macro, SWO1, and maybe our G bus EDG6 sales display, and go to the program and go to the include and go to the CNTN01, and maybe take anything guys, no problem, take anything, no need to go to the same, and exit underscore return, control F, exit underscore RETUR. This is the macro, and maybe container error, release container, create container, table, castable, delete element, copy, create object, create remote object, and remote digital, and somewhere remote digital, and create object. Maybe we have another include as well. Maybe we'll see that. And here exit underscore return is not available. No, maybe the another include this will have, maybe here also some macros, begin data, end data. See what is this, where it is, end of definition, exception occurred, no exception set, exit underscore, yeah, exit not implemented, exit cancel, and get property, get table property. Somewhere it is there here. So maybe it's not there here. Maybe that is there in another include. What is this include? I think no. It's only data declaration. Somewhere it is there. Control F, exit, exit with exception, exit with exception. Huh? Exit with, yeah, but we are using the macro exit underscore return. This is the macro, right? Macro name. And find next, find next. Yeah, exit with the return code. Some, yeah, see guys, there is a macro exit with return. So in the exit with return, maybe I'm using that code, the exception code. The first parameter is exception code. It returns, it invokes that exception code. Maybe if you want to set the variables, you can set the variables as well, guys. So maybe if you have ampersand1, ampersand2, ampersand3, maybe you may use that as well as a parameters. Now exactly it is going to return this state, this macro we need to use it. Yes, that's it. So how to use you should know, right? So no need to remember, and you can easily do the programming, guys. And contains one errors, and if you want to see the errors, go to error list, and okay, 4 actual parameters, not the 2, and maybe space, 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 space. Okay, now do the syntax check. No syntax error found. Come back and generate. And maybe now we can do that. Test it, and 4969 and get items, and give some chunk is my sales order. So which should not, we should raise. See guys, this is exactly raising the exceptions. So we should not give the dump. It should not display in the bottom. So see message ID this, and message items does not exist. Suppose maybe sales items does not exist for the sales order number. Maybe based on the number I need to give the exceptions. So how do you do that? So maybe what you can do is in the message class, you need to put in a these things, dynamic pointers, and I can go a dynamic variables S91 and change sales items does not exist for sales order. It's my ampersand 1. Okay, that's my first parameters, guys. That's my first parameter. So here I need to print the sales order number. So how do I print the sales order number? From here, maybe where is this? From here we can print the sales order numbers. methods. So this also macro program, and go to the business object and go to the program, and the first space, the first value is, what is the value here? My order number, IM underscore VBELN. That's it. And save it. Pretty printer. Come back and generate and test 4969 and get items and give the junk. And okay, see guys, sales items does not exist for the sales order junk, guys. These are the exceptions raised in the business object methods. That's it for today, and we'll see tomorrow the events. So once the business object is ready, then I will use this business object. I am going to build a workflows, guys. We are setting the infrastructure for the workflows now. So we have a business object. I will use the business object in the workflows to build the workflows. So maybe this is the custom business object. And one more concept is, how do you, because most of the times we use the existing business objects, business applications. And if you want to find out the business objects for the existing applications, how do you find out it? It's my question. So normally the way, how do you know? How do you find out? Press F4, go to the SW1, press F4, and maybe if you know the package, you will get it, guys, simply. And if you don't know the package, you need to go to the SAP applications. See, guys, there is a sales and distribution. See, there is an A. Maybe it will be there. SD. Yeah, perfect. Go to the SD. In the SD, you have an sales. And in the sales, the VA is the application. You see, guys, in sales starts with inquiry, quotation, order, contract, and debit memo, credit memo, and delivery and all. Now you see, this is the 2030 for the quotation, and 2031 for the customer quotation. 32 is for the sales order. Just now we have seen the contract and credit memo and debit memo, 2096 and 2094, guys. Maybe I'll go to the next application in the sales. Sorry, I should come back because SAP applications. So by going with the SAP application, we can see it, and go to the sales and distribution again. Yeah, sales and distribution. And see, guys, in the sales also they have different section for the billing and sales. So maybe if you want to see for the invoice, yes, I go to the invoice. I go here, and you can see same, guys, table name as a business object name, VBRK and VBRP and VBRL, and customers billing bus 203. And maybe if you want to see for the material management, yes, go with MM, and MM material purchasing. Yes, purchasing is purchase organization. Yes, ME, you can see, guys, purchase order. It's for the purchase quotation request RFQ, purchase the requisition 2009. And uh, when you say, workflow, you have to remember all these business objects. At least not all: sales order, purchase requisition, and employee. So very, very important. This business object you need to remember it. So I don't give the notes. Go and take the required things. Sales order, billing. Maybe you can take the billings, and billing means invoice, and you can take the purchase order and purchase requisition. Some of the things you need to write it. Okay, this is the way how to find out. There's a question how to find out. Maybe if you know the package, yes, very easy for me. VA, enter, I will get sales, guys. Maybe do you want to find out the deliveries? Yes. So that's why. So the package is very, very important, guys. So I don't read much Google. With the package, I can find out anything in the system, guys. First, I will use with the package. So in the last, in the 95th percent only, I will 95% I will try to track in the SAP system by using data element and the package. Very, very powerful concepts. Then I will go to the Google, guys. See the delivery packing list, picking confirmation, everything I can found Within a fraction of seconds, we can found it. Even don't believe the Google guys. So maybe, so Google Blocks will be written in 2006. Okay, maybe that object is obsolete now. So based on the system only, you need to first believe. That's it for today. Do you have any questions? Yeah. So don't ask me advanced questions. So in this area, whatever I have covered, please ask me the questions. Okay. So because I know what concepts I need to cover it. So I have enough flow for this. I did this workflow in the 2006 itself. I started my career with the SAP workflow itself. Okay. So first I build my objects in the SAP workflow. So my favorite subject actually this is. So do you have any questions? So little navigation point of view, you may face the problems. So if you want to avoid that problem, see my videos and do the practice, because I'm going here and there, right? So the navigation things you may confuse, but the subject point of view, the business objects are equal to the class. The class we did the same thing, but there we did the writing, but here SAP has given a tool to build the objects, guys. That's the difference. That's it. But the concept is same. This is also a concept class, that is also in a class. Class will have same attributes and methods and events. Business object also will have same kind of interfacing components and interfacing parameters. Okay. So little difference. Maybe the status we are setting here in the class we do not set the status. So little difference, but the concept is same. And so this the custom business object I've shown how to build. Tomorrow we'll see how to enhance the existing and how to use the existing and how to enhance the existing subtype inheritance, that we are going to see in the tomorrow's class. After that, I am going to take you to the workflow, the process level. We are in the business object level, in the architecture point of view. So we have base ABAP programs, then business object, then process level and organizational management. Now we are in the business object level and process level. Both are important. The organizational management, it's in a functional easy, and ABAP also already you are expert in the ABAP. So ABAP level, it's very easy to trigger the events. That's it. Okay, that's it. And tomorrow we'll see the existing and as well as the enhancing the existing business object and delegating that to the super type. And the day after tomorrow we start the workflow process level, guys. Maybe 3 days, and that 3 days maybe I maybe my plan, maybe by 25th I'm planning to complete the workflow. From 26th onwards I'm going to start the OData. Okay, open data protocol. That is also one more interested and demanding concept, current demanding concept in the. I hope you enjoyed the class and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.